We are Anchor. Stay tuned for updated real news.
Hello, Anchor Daily News viewers. How are you? I hope you're all healthy and well. As the Anchor Daily News team, we continue to share with you the hottest developments of the war. While the conflict between Russia and Ukraine is becoming increasingly complex and strategic, the Ukrainian army continues to make moves that will change the course of the war. Especially the recent long-range operations have started to have a great impact on Russia. Cross-border operations are no longer just a defense strategy, but are gaining a new dimension, with critical attacks reaching deep into Russia. Recently, the Ukrainian army struck a Russian ammunition depot in the Voronezh region. This attack triggered a fire that's still burning in the region, adding to the strategic operations of Ukrainian troops expanding the front line of the war. As the fire in another warehouse, which was hit earlier, continues, we'll examine the consequences of this pressure on Russia's defense systems and logistics lines. Let's take a look together. Before moving on to our report, here's a small reminder. As the Anchor Daily News team, we strive to bring you the developments in the Russia-Ukraine war. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. We also read all the comments you leave on our videos, so please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments section. Tell us what content you'd like to see on the Anchor Daily News channel. And now let us begin if you're ready. Anchor Daily News reports. The Ukrainian army continues its long-range operations against Russia without The Ukrainian army continues its long-range operations against Russia without slowing down. Most recently, successful strikes targeting ammunition depots in the Voronezh region of Russia have once again demonstrated that the war is having a profound impact on Russian territory. In a recent operation carried out by the Ukrainian army, an ammunition depot belonging to the Russian army was destroyed and a fire is still burning. This fire has rendered the ammunition completely unusable and has robbed the Russian military of strategically important resources in the region. The fire marks a significant loss at a time when Russia's facing logistical difficulties. Shortly after this development, another ammunition depot in the Voronezh region was targeted by Ukrainian troops. Ukraine's operations, with their long-range missiles and precision strike capabilities, are causing significant damage to Russia's warfighting capabilities. The head of Ukraine's counter-disinformation center, Kovalenko, has made important remarks on this latest attack. Kovalenko has revealed that North Korea's KN-23 ballistic missiles were found in the ammunition depot in the Voronezh region that was hit last night. This reveals that the war is not only a struggle between Russia and Ukraine, but that international actors are also involved in this war in various ways. The fact that the Russians become dependent on these North Korean missiles clearly shows how Ukraine's military successes have put the Russian military in a difficult situation. The KN-23 missiles are known as a highly effective ballistic missile system developed by North Korea. However, the fact that these missiles have to be used by Russia can be seen as a sign of the difficulties the Kremlin is facing in its own production capabilities. As a result of the sanctions and the prolongation of the war, Russia's military production capacity has been weakened and the country has had to turn to external resources. The arms deals with regions such as North Korea are a concrete example of Russia's inability to maintain its own weapons inventory and the military dimensions of the economic embargoes. These two attacks in the Voronezh region show that Ukraine is capable of striking strategic points not only on the front lines of the war, but also in the Russian interior. These operations reinforce the Ukrainian military's information and intelligence skills, as well as its technological superiority on the ground. Ukrainian troops, who can reach deep into Russia with long-range strikes, aim to weaken Russia's defense lines and paralyze the country's logistics network. While North Korea's KN-23 missiles are notable for being able to carry nuclear weapons, the use of these missiles in Russia's conventional warfare efforts points to another interesting fact. Ukraine's strike on this ammunition depot has reduced the likelihood of North Korean missile systems being used in the field in the later stages of the war. This raises the question of how Russia will change its war strategy. On the other hand, these attacks send a serious message not only militarily but also to Russia's domestic public opinion. Such attacks by the Ukrainian army on Russian territory can lead to public panic and security concerns. In particular, the destruction of strategic ammunition depots may lead the Russian public to question the course of the war and to see the difficulties Russia is facing in the war more clearly. Such events could complicate the Kremlin's efforts to further strengthen domestic support for the war. Moreover, the revelation of the use of North Korean ammunition highlights the isolation and military failures of the Russian military in the international arena. As a result, the Ukrainian military's long-range operations are putting increasing pressure on Russia. These operations in the Voronezh region show how determined Ukraine is in determining the strategic direction of the war. Moreover, such attacks show that Ukraine is not only playing defense, but is also targeting Russia's logistical and military resources, ensuring that the war is felt on Russian soil as well. The recent destruction of an ammunition depot shows how effective this strategy has been and how dependent Russia has become on external support. In the coming days of the war, it remains to be seen whether Ukraine will continue these operations and how Russia will respond to such attacks. Russia's leadership, Vladimir Putin, is facing an increasingly difficult domestic political situation. In particular, the Ukrainian army's cross-border offensives are exacerbating Russia's complicated situation. Incidents such as the destruction of ammunition depots in the Voronezh region are making the Russian people feel the real effects of the war more closely. The prolongation of the war increases the pressure on the Kremlin in the face of Russia's military failures and Ukraine's long-range aggression. The Russian people have become increasingly frustrated by the economic sanctions and the material and moral burdens of the war. Economic stagnation, unemployment, price surges, and limited resources are straining the public's patience, while the looming end of the war increases the strike of domestic political instability. These pressures on Putin's power, coupled with Ukraine's strategic offensive inside Russia, mean that the Kremlin is facing a difficult struggle on both military and political fronts. But this was the Russian leader Putin's own choice. What do you think? What do you think the destruction of ammunition depots means? What impact will such attacks have on the future of the war? Will Russian leader Putin be able to justify himself in domestic politics? Let us know in the comments. We read and care about your opinions.